Welcome back, everybody. Ready for another deep dive? This time we're exploring a book that I think you're really going to enjoy, How Not to Die.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating stuff.
So it's all about using food as medicine and
Yeah.
really like tapping into the power of what we eat to live longer, healthier lives.
Exactly. Dr. Greger, he really digs deep into the science behind it all and shows how our dietary choices can have a huge impact on our health.
I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
We all know that eating healthy is important.
Sure, but this goes way beyond just like eating your veggies.
Yeah.
He really lays out the evidence connecting our diet to some of the biggest killers out there.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Because the book tackles the top 15 causes of premature death. And what I found so striking was how many of those are directly linked to what we eat.
It's pretty eye-opening, isn't it? Like you think about heart disease, cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's, even infections.
Yeah, and Dr. Brecker makes a pretty bold statement. He says heart disease, the #1 cause of death worldwide, could actually be considered a foodborne illness.
It makes you think differently about it, that's for sure.
Right. It really makes you pause and go, wait a minute, what am I putting in my body?
And the good news is he also offers a solution. He argues that a whole food plant-based diet can be incredibly powerful for preventing and even reversing many of these chronic diseases.
Okay, so let's unpack this plant-based thing a
Yeah.
bit, because I know there are a lot of misconceptions out there. What does that actually mean? Are we all supposed to become vegans overnight?
Not necessarily. It's more about emphasizing the abundance of plant-based foods in your diet rather than focusing on restrictions.
So fruits, veggies, legumes, whole grains, all that good stuff.
Exactly. Things that really nourish your body at a cellular level.
Got it. So it's not about depriving yourself. It's about adding in more of those good things.
Precisely. And the research is pretty compelling when it comes to the benefits.
Yeah, I mean, does it really live up to the hype, though? I mean, I've heard so many different things about plant-based eating.
Well, studies have shown that plant-based diets are associated with a lower risk of heart disease, certain types of cancer, type 2 diabetes, even Alzheimer's disease.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Plus, it can have a positive impact on everything from your gut health to your mental clarity.
Okay, so we're talking about potentially preventing and reversing
Right.
some pretty serious conditions
Yep.
and just feeling better overall.
Absolutely. It's about taking control of your health destiny in a way.
Right. But I think for a lot of people, myself included, the biggest hurdle is knowing where to start. It can all feel a bit overwhelming, like, okay, I need to change everything now.
I totally get it. And that's where Dr. Greger's Daily Dozen comes in.
Daily doesn't. Okay, tell me more.
Think of it as your personalized roadmap to a healthier, more vibrant you. He outlines 12 food groups that he recommends incorporating into your daily routine for optimal health.
Ooh, I love a good roadmap. So what's the first stop on this journey to not dying? What's at the top of the list?
Well, this one might not be a surprise, but it's a cornerstone of any healthy diet. Beans.
Beans. The musical fruit.
Haha, exactly. We're talking lentils, chickpeas, black beans, the whole legume family.
Okay, so what makes beans so magical?
They're nutritional powerhouses packed with fiber, which helps regulate blood sugar and cholesterol. They keep you feeling full and satisfied, and they're a great source of plant-based protein.
Okay, so good for your heart, good for your gut, keeps those energy levels stable. That's a pretty good start. What's next?
Get ready for a burst of flavor and antioxidants, berries.
Berries. Now you're talking blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, nature's candy.
But with a serious health punch, they're particularly high in antioxidants, which help protect your cells from damage, reduce inflammation, and may even help ward off certain diseases.
So we've got our beans for a steady foundation and our berries for a powerful boost. What else is on the menu for a longer, healthier life?
Next up, we're heading into the land of cruciferous vegetables.
Cruciferous veggies. Now you're really testing me. Bring on the broccoli and Brussels sprouts.
Uh-huh. They might not have been your childhood favorites, but they're absolute rock stars for your health.
All right. All right, I'm listening. What makes these veggies so important? Because they don't exactly have that same sweetness appeal as those delicious berries.
They're packed with unique compounds that actually help detoxify your system. They're like your body's internal cleaning crew, helping to neutralize harmful substances and reduce your risk of certain cancers.
So they're not just good for you, they're actively fighting those bad guys in our bodies.
Exactly. They're powerful allies in the fight for good health. And of course, we can't forget about those leafy greens.
Oh yeah, spinach, lettuce, kale, all that good stuff. They always seem to top those superfood lists. But why? What makes them so special?
They're packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Think of them as a multivitamin straight from nature.
A natural multivitamin.
Okay.
I like it. So they're good for just about everything?
Pretty much. They support heart health, improve circulation, boost energy levels, and even protect against age-related cognitive decline.
So they're like a health insurance policy for our bodies.
You could say that.
All right, what's next on this longevity menu? I'm ready for more.
This one might surprise you, flax seeds.
Flax seeds. I'll admit I don't really know much about them. Are we talking like some kind of superfood trend, or are these little guys the real deal?
They've been around for centuries, but they're finally getting the recognition they deserve. They're rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential for brain and heart health.
Omega-3s.
Yeah.
I've heard those are important. So how do you even eat flax seeds?
You can sprinkle them on cereal, add them to smoothies, or even use them in baking.
Okay, I'm definitely going to have to add flax seeds to my grocery list. What else is Dr. Grege recommending for a longer, healthier life?
To round out our snacking strategy, we have nuts and seeds.
Nuts and seeds, almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds. Those are definitely a favorite in my house.
They provide healthy fats, protein, and fiber for sustained energy and satiety.
Yeah, but I've always heard they're high in calories. Should we be limiting how much we eat?
It's all about moderation. They're nutrient-dense, so a small handful goes a long way. Plus, they're packed with healthy fats that actually help you feel fuller for longer, which can be beneficial for weight management.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've covered beans, berries, cruciferous veggies, leafy greens, flax seeds, and nuts and seeds. What other foods made it onto Dr. Greger's Daily Dozen?
Let's talk about whole grains.
Whole grains. Brown rice, quinoa, oats. I know they're good for us, but to be honest, sometimes they can feel a bit bland.
Don't be afraid to get creative. You can add herbs, spices, different vegetables, even fruits to make them more appealing. Think quinoa salad with roasted vegetables and a lemon vinaigrette, or overnight oats with berries and nuts. The possibilities are endless.
Okay, now you're making me hungry. It's all about making healthy eating enjoyable and sustainable, right?
Absolutely.
So what else is on this roadmap to a healthier earthy?
Dr. Greger emphasizes the importance of spices, particularly turmeric.
Turmeric. I use it all the time in my cooking. It adds such a beautiful color and warmth to dishes. But what makes it so good for us?
Turmeric's active compound curcumin has been shown to have potent anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. It can be beneficial for a wide range of conditions, from arthritis to heart disease.
Wow, so it's not just a tasty spice, it's a medicinal powerhouse.
You got it. You can add a pinch to your smoothies, soups, stir-fries, or even your morning coffee.
Okay, turmeric is definitely getting a starring role in my kitchen from now on.
Ugh.
So we've covered a lot of food groups so far. What else is on the Daily Dozen?
Now, this one might seem obvious, but it's crucial: beverages.
Beverages. Okay, so we're not just talking about what we eat, but what we drink too.
Exactly. We're talking about water and green tea.
Water, I get. Staying hydrated is essential.
Mm-hmm.
But what's so special about green tea?
Green tea is packed with antioxidants called catechins, which have been linked to various health benefits, including reducing inflammation, boosting brain function, and even protecting against certain types of cancer.
So it's a delicious and refreshing way to up your antioxidant intake.
Exactly.
And last but not least, I'm guessing this final item on the Daily Dozen list isn't something we eat or drink.
You got it. Dr. Breger recommends at least 90 minutes of moderate exercise per day.
Exercise. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, it's the one item on the list that I struggle with the most. 90 minutes feels like such a huge chunk of time.
Think of it as an investment in your long-term health and happiness. Exercise isn't just about burning calories. It strengthens the heart, improves mood, boosts energy levels, and even helps protect against chronic diseases.
So it's about finding activities you enjoy and incorporating movement into your daily routine.
Exactly. Even small bursts of activity throughout the day can make a difference.
Okay, so there you have it. Dr. Breger's Daily Dozen. This has been incredibly insightful. It's a pretty comprehensive roadmap to optimal health, encompassing a variety of foods and lifestyle choices. What stands out to you most from this list?
For me, it's the emphasis on abundance and variety. It's not about deprivation or restriction. It's about enjoying a wide range of delicious and nutritious foods that nourish your body and mind.
So we've explored Dr. Greger's Daily Dozen, and wow, it's pretty amazing stuff.
It really is. It's like a blueprint for healthy living.
And the best part is, it doesn't feel restrictive.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about like cutting out everything you enjoy.
Exactly. It's about making gradual, sustainable changes that fit into your lifestyle.
That's what I like about it. It feels doable, not overwhelming.
Yeah.
So let's talk strategy. What are some simple ways to actually incorporate these foods into our daily routine? Because let's be honest, sometimes just thinking about changing our eating habits can feel daunting.
It can, but one of the easiest ways is to start small. Don't try to change everything at once.
Okay, so baby steps would be a good first step.
Well, one of the easiest and most enjoyable ways to sneak in those extra servings of fruits and veggies is through smoothies.
Smoothies. Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah,
Especially for someone like me who's always on the go in the mornings. You can just throw everything in a blender and go.
exactly. You can pack in a ton of leafy greens, berries, even flax seeds without even noticing them.
Okay, that sounds promising. What are some other tips for making this work in real life? Because sometimes life gets in the way,
Hmm.
you know?
I hear you. Another great strategy is to focus on one meal at a time. Instead of trying to overhaul your entire diet overnight, start by making breakfast a little bit healthier. Then move on to lunch and dinner.
Okay, so like maybe swap out my sugary cereal for some oatmeal with berries and nuts.
Exactly. Or you could try a tofu scramble instead of eggs. There are so many delicious and healthy options out there.
That's such a good point. Small changes add up over time. And what about those days when you're craving something a little indulgent? Because let's be real, we all have those moments.
It's all about finding healthy alternatives that satisfy your cravings. Instead of reaching for a bag of chips, try a handful of nuts or some air-popped popcorn with a sprinkle of nutritional yeast for a cheesy flavor.
I love that idea. It's about making healthy eating a joyful experience, not a restrictive one. So as we wrap up our deep dive into how not to die, what's the one key takeaway you hope listeners will walk away with?
I think the most important message is that you have more control over your health and longevity than you might think. By making conscious choices about the foods you eat, you can significantly reduce your risk of disease and live a longer, healthier, happier life.
Absolutely. It's empowering to know that we have the power to shape our own health destiny. And if listeners are ready to dive deeper into this topic, I highly recommend checking out How Not to Die. Dr. Greger's book is a treasure trove of evidence-based advice and practical tips.
It really is. He goes into so much detail about the science behind it all.
So knowing what you know now, what's one small change you can make to your diet today to start moving towards a healthier future? Maybe it's adding a handful of berries to your breakfast or swapping out that sugary soda for a glass of water. Every little step counts.
It really does. And remember, it's about progress, not perfection. Don't get discouraged if you slip up. Just get back on track and keep moving forward.
That's such great advice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into how not to die. It's been an absolute pleasure.
The pleasure was all mine.
And to all our listeners out there, remember, you have the power to take control of your health and live a longer, healthier, happier life. Cheers to that.